Hello friends, welcome to engineering classes. Today we will learn about workload model, that is WLM. We will study about why we need WLM, and then we will see about what is facing throughput, hit per seconds, and how we can calculate these things. Let's first check what is a WLM. The performance testers prepare a workload to stimulate the real world situation in the performance test environment. In simple words, we can say that WLM is required to create scenario. To do a performance test, you need a scenario that you want to create. In that scenario, you will put some number of requests, what is the facing required, how long will be the test. So all these things come from the production, like in real time, how much load is getting on the server. That you will get that count. Based on that count, you will first create a WLM, and then you will go and create a scenario. The flow will go. First, you will get the production count. Okay. Then you will create the WLM, that is workload model. And once that WLM is created, with the help of this WLM, you will create. So that's why WLM is required. Why? You need it to create a scenario to perform the performance test. Then we will go and perform some performance test. Okay. Here I will take some example of how we can create a WLM and choose fields that are required. Let's say, for example, we have taken a so here we have taken a example of a web applications that having four features. That first you will register, then you will log in, then you will book a flight ticket, and then you will log out. Say the throughput is something like this, it is 20%, then login is 10%. Then flight booking, the main feature is having at 60 percentage, and it is at logout at 10 percentage. Say the transaction expected from this to the server is 100K. That is 1 lakh iterations. So how we will divide it? It will be something like 20,000, then 10,000, it is 60,000, and again 10,000. Okay. We will give the Vusers. Say for example, I am giving Vusers as, for this I am giving as Vusers as 4. Here I am giving 2. Here I am giving 10 and 2. So this is the requirement that we have got from our, here we have checked this, right? From the performance count, these are the things that we have got. Like these are the features that our web applications, and these are the real time counts where the server is getting hit. So we need to create a WLM for our production life environment. Production life environment. That is short form is PTE. So we need to create a WLM for production like environment with the same count. Before going any further, let's get an idea about what is throughput and hits per second. So hit per second means the number of requests that are being sent to the server in 1 second. And the second thing is throughput. Throughput means the number of requests executed successfully by the servers. Please see there is a difference between hits and throughput. Hit means we are sending some request and we will just find out the how many requests are getting to the server in 1 second, whether they are successful or not successful, whether the server is able to take the load. That doesn't matter. We will just get the count and calculate the hit per second. Throughput means the number of requests that are successfully executed by the servers and a proper response is getting. So the throughput we can calculate only after once the test is completed. We will calculate it once the test is completed. Okay. So throughput. If 100% messages are completed, means whatever we have send it and all the messages are successful, then hit per second is equal to throughput. Okay. then both will be equal because server has successfully executed all the messages. So that is for hits per second versus throughput. Here we will get the iterations per users. If we are sending, we need to send 20,000 iterations and we have 4 users to do it. You can take it in a way like we have to do some 20,000 work and there are 4 person to do it. So how many work will one person do? That will be 20 divided by 4. So that is equal to 20,000 divided by number of users. So that is 5. Same way we will calculate for all. So this way 10,000 work will be divided by 2. So we have got 5,000. Now these are the iterations per users. Another column is facing. Now let's check what is facing. Facing is a time difference. Facing is a time difference between each complete iterations of the business flow. Means you are sending 2 requests and the time between these 2 requests is the facing. Let's take example. You are send one request 1 and then you are sending request 2. So the time between request 1 and the request 2 is called as facing. Okay. One more thing about facing is the number of the transactions is inversely proportional to the facing. Say you have some X amount of time. Now, if in this X amount of time, if you increase the number of transactions, then the facing will decrease. In the same way, if you decrease the number of transactions, then that will increase the facing. Okay. The formula to calculate the facing is time in seconds divided by number of iterations per users. How much time you want? Say if it is a 15-minute test, 1 hour test, that time you can give in seconds divided by the number of transactions required per users. Now let's coming back to our table. Here we have find out the iterations, users and iterations per users. Now we will, for further calculation, we will consider this column, iterations per users. Now write it down. If we want the iterations for 1 seconds, it will be something like this. 60 minutes, in 1 hour we have 60 minutes, multiply by 60. That is 3600. But for your understanding, I have write it down like this. For 1 hour, in 1 hour we have 60 minutes and in every minute we have 60 seconds. So 60 into 60 divided by iterations per users. That is 0.72. So we are getting 0.72. To confirm this, whether this is a correct facing, you are not making any mistake. What you can do is you can multiply this facing 0.72 multiply by number of iterations. It is 5,000. You will get 3600. That is the time it will take. This is showing the time it will take. Since we have already given 1 hour, so it is matching. Same way, we have given a calculator the facing for all the other flows. Now, if you want to calculate the facing for 2 hours, how you will calculate it? Now see, we are calculating facing for 2 hours, but the iterations are less. So as per our this point, this one, the transactions are getting decreased because the same transactions earlier we are using for 1 hour, now we are doing it for 2 hours. So definitely facing will increase. Now the formula will be 60 minutes, every minute has 60 seconds multiply by 2 hours. Since it is a 2 hour test divided by iteration per users. So the facing is increased now. Okay. Transactions are decreased because earlier we are giving around 50K per hour. Now we are giving only 2.5K per hour. Because, okay, same way we will increase the facing now. So this is a basic example of how to create a workload model. First, check the throughput, then find the iterations that are required in real life production. Then we will give some users, then find the iterations per user according to this, and then we'll get the facing and facing for different timings. So let's take one example of facing for 15 minutes. How we will calculate facing for 15 minutes. So for this, we will give a formula of 60 multiply by 15, because we are taking only 15 minutes divided by iterations per users. This will be the facing for 15 minutes. Okay. Here we are putting 50K messages in only 15 seconds. If you multiply this by, we are getting 0.18. 0.18 multiply by 50K, sorry, 5K, it will be 900. It is around, the test will be completed in 900 seconds. How much is 900 seconds? 15 minutes. Same as 15 minutes. So this way you can calculate the facing for any duration of test. Now we will see some questions regarding how to calculate the facings. Okay, we will discuss these two questions. Usually when you go for an interview or something, they will give a situation and ask you to solve it. Say for example, the first question is calculate facing when 1000 requests need to be sent in 15 minutes using 2 users. So first find iterations per users. So one user will get how much load? Only 500. Since we have 2 users, for one user we will get 500. Now calculate facing. Facing will be something like 60 seconds multiply by 15 minutes. Okay, 15 minutes. Every minute has 16 seconds, and this complete thing will be divided by 500, facing of around 1.8 seconds. Okay, coming to question number 2. Calculate facing when 120 requests need to be sent in 1 hour using 2 users. Very first thing is we need to calculate the iteration per users. It is something 60. Since we have 2 users, now calculate the facing. Facing will be 60 seconds multiply by test duration, that is 60 minutes, and that complete thing will be divided by 60. 60. So this is this 60 users, and this is 60 seconds multiply by test duration, that is 1 hour, that is 60 minutes, multiply by 16 users. That will give you a facing of 60 seconds. Okay. But here we have second part also, having think time of 1 seconds for each iteration. Okay. Now we will deduct the think time for this facing minus think time. Then you will get a facing of final facing of 59 seconds. You can also confirm this from here. Say 59 seconds multiply by 60 give you 3450 plus think time of 1 second for each iterations. Okay. Per user iteration is 60, 3600, that is 1 hour. Only this much for facing. Thank you.